Hello friends, an ERP like SAP or SAP, an operating system like Windows, should they be considered as property, plant and equipment in your books of accounts? Or should these be intangible assets? Or should they be expensed to the profit and loss account in the year in which the expense is incurred? Let's discuss in today's video. Hi, my name is Pratheej and welcome to Deep Dive into IFRS. So, an SAP or an operating system like Windows, both are softwares. So, in the traditional sense, these should be intangible assets, right? But when it comes to IFRS, there are multiple views. So, let's analyze them. If you see an SAP license without a computer, without a laptop is useless. And same way, a laptop or a computer without an operating system like Windows is worthless. So both physical, that is tangible, and intangible elements are incorporated into both of these assets. In such cases, IFRS asks you to do an assessment as to which of these elements is more significantly present in the asset, whether it's tangible or intangible. So if a software is an integral part of the related hardware, then both the software and the hardware should be put together and clubbed as property, plant and equipment and capitalized in the books of accounts. But if the software is not integral to the hardware, then the hardware should be treated as property, plant and equipment and the software should be treated as intangible assets. A more easier way to find this out is to see whether the software is standalone or embedded in the computer, embedded in the hardware. So in the case of Windows, let's analyze three scenarios and see how the treatment should be done. Scenario number one, Windows bought as a separate standalone license. That is, you're a company to whom IFRS is applicable and you are buying, you already have 100 computers and now you are buying Windows license for these 100 computers separately. So in this case, it is bought as a standalone software. So this can be theoretically treated as intangible assets and then amortized over its useful life. Scenario number two, you are a company to whom IFRS is applicable and you are buying 100 computers pre-installed with Windows software. So in this case, it is already embedded or installed into the hardware. So in this case, the software cost and the cost of the Windows license, both these will be capitalized as property, plant and equipment in the books of accounts. But if you see, generally the Windows license cost will be clubbed with property, plant and equipment and capitalized as such. But when it comes to theory, there are two approaches possible like this. In the third scenario, you are subscribing to a cloud-based Windows subscription, like for example Microsoft 365 Enterprise. So in this case, you either pay a monthly subscription rate or an annual subscription rate and then use the Windows for your computers. So here these should be expensed to the profit and loss account. The reason is that the company does not own the license or it doesn't control the asset as well. So to put it in a nutshell, there are three scenarios possible. If it's a standalone license, it should be an intangible asset as per IAS 38. If it's a pre-installed thing in the computer, then as per IAS 16, it should be property, plant and equipment. And if it's a cloud-based subscription model, then it should be expensed to the P&L account. Now on to SAP. In the case of SAP, there are only two scenarios. The reason being, the second scenario which we saw in Windows is not applicable to SAP. The reason is you won't be able to buy a computer pre-installed with SAP. So let's look at the two situations here. Situation one, SAP is bought as a standalone software for say 100 computers in your organization. In this case, as it's a standalone software, this should be treated as intangible assets as per IAS 38. Scenario number two, you are opting for a SaaS model, that is SaaS subscription, that is a software as a service model subscription, and you pay either a monthly fee or an annual fee for the services. So in this case, the company or the entity does not own or does not control the resource, control SAP, and for this reason, they should be expensed to the P&L account. So in the two scenarios, scenario one, as a standalone software, if you buy it, it is as per IAS 38 intangible asset. If you opt for a SaaS model, then you have to expense it through the P&L account. I hope this short but interesting video was useful to you guys. Till I see you in my next episode, thank you for your valuable time.